All right, you can see I'm closing the gap right there. Like I said, this thing shouldn't have to be stroked out like all the way, and you see a big gap on this side of it, because we want to, if there is, make sure your spacing is correct. If it is, throw in a couple of spacers, like some little 0.5 millimeter spacers or something. So what we want to do with this is, once again, like we've said in the past, I want to close this down a little bit, but not enough to stop it from turning, so that when I turn it, it doesn't want to pop open. So I want to put some pressure on it. Got to keep that logo looking straight, right? You got to look pro to be pro. That's just how it is. All right, so we go ahead and I'm going to really tighten that down. And the reason why that's okay with our product is because we have that true drive sleeve, which is that red bushing that's floating around inside of there. It's not floating in there now. A lot of people when they get our modules, they're like, the bushing is floating around inside. Is that okay? Absolutely. It's not going to be floating around inside once the spindle goes through it, and you put pressure on it, and it marries those inner races to that bushing, and that's the compression right there that is going to hold it in place. And what it does is it keeps the inner races from moving toward each other. So we're going to go ahead and tighten that down just like that, and there you go, all done. Spintastic. That's what you get when you ream the bottom bracket out and it's the correct dimension to work with the product. And while that's spinning, a lot of people are saying in the comments very typically, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever, they're like, well, the frame should just be right from the factory. You know, why don't they ream it out at the factory, blah, blah, blah. Look, I don't know. I don't have the answers to those questions. All I know is that a lot of them aren't right. And in order for it to be performing the way you want, you have to make it right. Okay? Because complaining about it is great. Super, super fun and all that, but it doesn't solve any problems. So let's get our mindset shifted around correcting the problems and accepting them. Accepting them first, then correcting them, and getting the best performance we can out of our ride.